Renewals. Let's make it simple. A renewal is a chance for you to make another sale, or it's a chance for you to upgrade your tuition to a rate that more effectively supports the school. A renewal should be easier to make, or an upgrade of membership should be easier to make, because now the client knows you. If you're falling short in service, if you overpromised and underdelivered, it's going to be hard to make a renewal. A renewal should be an easy thing if you've proven yourself, because now you're not talking to a stranger, you're talking about someone who's seen you work and who is receiving the benefits of your training. A renewal is designed to allow you to let a student come in at a lower price, build trust between you, and then increase your tuition 50 cents, $1, $2 a day. Not much to ask, because your job as a school owner, your primary mission is to get X amount of students paying X amount of money. That money has to cover all the expenses of the school intelligently. Doesn't mean you're going to be driving a Ferrari. It means that everybody gets well paid for what they do, for the time they invest, that there's money in savings, that you're going to have retirement set up, that you operate a business intelligently. You don't have to gouge anybody. Unfortunately, the renewal process has become a gouging process in many schools. I mean, we've had consultants, big ones, people who are, on the front covers of magazines, talk to their audience and say, we know as well as you do that people are not going to stay in your school. Most of the dropout rates occur here. So we've created a strategy to get as much money as you can up front, as fast as you can, so that you don't have to lose. See, only the student loses. That's when a renewal is not a good thing. Now, how you go about renewals and what your options are, you should know this. This is your personal research, and you make your renewals something that you feel comfortable with. But even more importantly than feeling comfortable with it is you make your enrollment and your renewal process something that supports the school as it should. You cannot have a school that comfortably fits 200 people on a business model that needs 400 to operate. That doesn't make any sense at all. You'll be like these schools where they actually, even if it isn't verbally confessed, they want students to drop out. Their model is based on having students drop out because they get most of their cash from cash upfront payments for new students. You don't want to be that kind of school. You want to have a healthy program. So here's what a renewal is. A renewal is, can you build enough rapport with the student? Can you do enough good work? Can you affect them both inside and outside of the dojo? And can you make a difference into their life to where once they've been a student for a while, you can come to them and say, I need $1 more a day for the school. And can you tell them when you first start, listen, you'll come in as a beginning student. This is the rate. If you qualify to continue our training because you're consistent, because you love it, because we've done what we say we were going to do, and all the things that make you a great student. The bad news is the price goes up a little bit. The good news is that it's 50 cents a day or $1 a day or $1.50 a day or whatever it turns out to be. You tell them in advance. You get a chance to prove yourself. When the time comes, you increase their tuition. Everybody understands it. And you start making enough money to fairly support your school without having, a 200-person school based on a model of 400 people. The other thing that both a new enrollment and a renewal gives you is a chance to take some big ticket item of maybe $1,200 or $1,500 for a year, or a black belt program which might be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and stick it on the shelf and ask your student, how would you like to pay for this? Would you like to pay in full? Would you like to do a deferred program where you make several large payments? Or would you like to put a down payment and pay monthly? And here are our down payment options. It gives you a chance to make another sale. Now, Some schools operate without that, and that's perfectly fine. See, the objective is not to get as much as you can, as fast as you can. The objective is that every student you enroll and every student you have on the floor supports the school intelligently. Now, what you don't want to have in a renewal process, if you decide to do renewals, and remember, there are many options. Don't let anybody tell you there's only one system, because that's just simply not the truth. There are many ways to do it. The way that you're going to do it is going to evolve over time, and you're going to hopefully have sat down and done some serious math work. I mean, you've really gone over your numbers and you've really figured it out. And when you set a rate for your lessons, you've done it because you've studied the industry, you've studied some other people within the 100 or outside of it that you trust, that you know are doing great work, where there's no artifice or scam, and you've done your homework, and then you've done your math. You realize that, okay, my school's based on this many students as a model. This is a 600 student school, or this is a 60 student school. And then you have to base the way you charge and the way you address your clientele based on how your model works. And your model will change over time because you'll learn things about special events or private lessons or retail sales, or how to price your program so that at the end of the month you're ahead. You're not rolling in dough on a Friday night. You're a teacher. Teachers make so much money, but you're not going to be, don't look at these guys who, just roll in big cash month after month after month, cashing people out. They're like these big timber companies that go in and clear cut a forest. I mean, that you can only clear cut a community for so long, and then you're ruined. And you go, and I've talked to a number of instructors right here on the 100 who went in heavy cash, doing exactly what these, ding-dong consultants said, and then they hit the wall. And when you hit the wall, you can go right out of business. Maybe if you'd like to tell your story about how you almost went out of business or what happens, go below. I've already lived the process. So when it comes to renewals, you should have a renewal. You should be able to upgrade your tuition a little bit, 50 cents to $2 a day. You should be able to get a fair price for your lessons. You should price your program so that it supports the school. You should not run a business that's contingent on taking big cash payments. If you could wean yourself off that and just live on a good, healthy down payment of about 20% and then monthly payments, and it also forces you to keep your students because you've got to keep them to be able to get paid. That's a healthy situation. You're going to look in the magazines and you're going to hear about this guy who in 1 month went from 18,000 to 180,000. And you're going to be tempted to call that service and enroll. But you have to realize that's a freak incident. And that person cashed out a whole bunch of people. And they're going to pay for it down the road. Don't go in with your renewal model saying, I'm going to build confidence in my student, then I'm going to hit him with a $5,000 or a $10,000 payday. I'm going to power out the cash payments. I'm going to get a lot of cash up front, and then I'm going to save it, because you won't save it. You'll spend it. And you don't want to have a school that's 20% or 40% or 50% paid out. You don't want to do that. You can, and maybe all your buddies in the association will say, oh yeah, you really did good. But the truth is, down the road, you'll be suffering. You'll be pinching pennies. You'll be looking for students to drop out. You'll have to sign up another 50 or 100 students in your school because the model you built your school on isn't working, because you're not getting enough income from each student. That income came and went. What I want to do is enroll a healthy amount of students in my school and have that school maintain itself. Sustainable school that just keeps going, and I'm not every month sweating, looking to get 30 more students because I built my model on an unsustainable foundation of business practices. So right in the space below, you can start filling in what you're learning about renewals and who's doing what. And the lure of fast cash and big cash monthly, influxes of cash, that's tough. It's hard to resist that. But the best thing is to have a nice, steady business with a good, healthy net income over a long period of time, and be very frugal about your spending and do all those things. So this is renewal talk, about how to create a strategy, and understand that lots of companies come in and offer, cash payments for these elaborate programs, and they won't be in business in a few years, or, they'll be complaining. They'll be, crying about the fact that they are not making enough money. And also, when you get a big influx of cash, you tend to live up to that amount of cash you make, and bad news. Bad news. Why don't you just have a really healthy business? Not based on, need 30 new students a month, every month, month after month. We've got to do it to survive, because I was there. I did that business. And if we didn't have 30 new students a month, every month of the year, I was upset. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pay the bills, because we'd signed up a bunch of students. I'd already spent the money. We weren't getting really a fair enough amount from every student, and I should have been smart and said, when we reach, I did eventually get there, but I did get to a point where I had a smaller student body with everybody paying a little bit more, and guess what? It sustained itself. And some of the pressure came off new enrollments. That was a good place to be. That's where I want you to be too. So renewals are an ongoing discussion. It's about getting a fair rate for your lessons, and there's many ways to do a renewal. There's many strategies, but in the end, when it's all said and done, you want to have X amount of students paying a healthy amount of tuition that's good for them, that's good for the school, that sustains the school. If the expenses are here, the income is here, so that you have this much to play with and can hire and buy perhaps a building or invest that money. And I got some wise advice one time. Nick said, you're never going to get wealthy from your school. You're only going to get wealthy from the money you invest from what you make from your school. And so don't look to your school as a cash cow. Look to your school as a place where you get a healthy net, and you take that money and you put it places where it works for you. And don't take the cash flow you get in a martial arts school for granted, and don't be lured in by these people who are cashing out big programs. It's a fool's journey.